Coach Salem was kind of talking about how like there's actually a couple different positions there, and you're sort of playing a different one than the other guys. What sort of?
Well, there's your genuine tight end, hand in the dirt, and then there's also like a fullback tight end that can do the hand in the dirt and more receiver stuff along with the fullback blocking. So I've kind of been able to play both, so it makes me a little bit different than most guys. So I sometimes have to practice alone or with Matt, and so it makes it harder, but it's also a good opportunity for me.
What was that like? I guess coming in as a freshman, kind of picking up 2 spots.
At first it was challenging. I was a little frustrated, but it only took me about a week, and then I really picked it up and started to run with it.
You guys brought in a big freshman class, but did you expect to play this much right away?
I've always been really confident in my own abilities. So I would say, yeah. I just always knew how good I thought I was, and I knew that I would be able to contribute early.
Salem said you remind him of a guy who played here, J.P. Holtz. Do you know much about him?
I get that a lot. People say we look like each other. We have similar tattoos. We play similar. Everybody tells me we have similar mannerisms. So
like guys in the building?
Everybody, yeah. Academic advisors, coaches, everybody. So I'm used to that one.
He's playing for the Cleveland Browns right now, so I guess you're okay with that comparison?
Yeah, I talk to him sometimes. He gives me some good advice.
What's he tell you?
I reached out to him on Instagram once or twice, just when I was first getting here, just for any kind of tips he could give me. And talking to him was just nice. So.
What's it been like for you? Your first 3 games, kind of a local team, and then 2 of the best in the country.
Well, the week 1 was a great week. I got my first few snaps. I had my first ever catch, and then as soon as week 1 ended, the practices got way more intense, and everyone was screaming at you all day, and it was shell shock almost, being just thrown into it. First. Pretty much your first week there, but I was up for the challenge, so I think I did pretty well. I like to think I did.
What have you learned from it?
I learned my mental fortitude, I would say. I feel like a lot of people would have cracked under the pressure, but I don't want to toot my horn, but I feel like I was strong enough to get through it. A lot of pressure, some of those big 3rd down situations and stuff like that. It was pretty loud at Penn State, so.
Were players paying much attention to the quarterback situation that you guys have going on?
That's none of my business. I really have no idea about the quarterbacks.
How much is the blocking as a fullback different than what you do at tight end and what you've done in high school?
It's very different from high school. High school, I felt like I was able to just do whatever I wanted. But from tight end, it's really not all that different. It's just different. You got to learn the schemes, really. There's multiple different ways to block one block. So when you know a few different techniques, it's a lot easier to usually block the ends.
In high school, when you're blocking, it was almost like an extra tackle.
Yeah, it's just step left, step right, try and bully somebody around. That's all it was in high school.
How much did you talk to George? I mean, that's kind of his position a little bit when it came to what you had to do, your responsibilities.
He gives me some good info pretty much every day. He's out on the field every day. He's always got a great attitude, helping everybody out. So it's great to have him. He's really helped me in him and Matt Flanagan definitely helped me the most in my progression.
You talked about getting through some things as a young player. It's not like you're the only young guy playing. This is a pretty young team. Do you feel like as a team what you've gone through the last 2 weeks is something that you can sort of learn from and improve from?
Yeah, I mean, we are very young. I think we played 12 freshmen the first week. So these big game experiences, a few years down the road, I feel like we should be able to win these games, if not at least compete very highly in them. So I do feel like these are helpful games, even if we do lose by 40 points.
With the quarterback position kind of being in flux, or does the tight end's role sometimes, as a safety valve, do you feel like there's sort of an increased importance for you all in that position?
Well, I feel like in our offense, there's always a really high importance for the tight ends. Even if we're not blocking, we are the main check down, the main safety net. So even if we had Tom Brady, I feel like we'd still be a really big part of the offense. So I don't think it fluctuates with whoever's in a quarterback.
Anything else for Todd?
And sort of regardless of who's playing quarterback, when the offense isn't clicking the way you want it to, is there sort of do you feel a little bit of a pressure, like ball comes my way, I don't want to let the team down, we have this opportunity?
I feel like that's everybody every play. Like when the ball comes your way, your competitive drive is to catch that ball and run and get as many yards as you can. So I don't feel like the different quarterbacks really affect the situations.